Stop looking for outside validation and start giving it yourself. You know, you glow differently if your confidence is fueled by self-belief instead of waiting for approval from anyone else. And welcome back to my channel. My name is Alina if you're new here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how you can develop to give yourself so much validation that you don't need anyone's approval ever. You will start to fulfill your goals, you will start to pursue your dreams, you will develop your own opinion, you will raise so much confidence, you will just start attracting naturally the things that you want, because everything else that is not aligned with your highest frequency and your highest good will be repelled. Like, you will not have those struggles anymore where you're like, oh, this person is treating me bad, or oh, this person is disrespecting me, or oh, why am I treated this way? No, you will not experience this anymore, because you're treating yourself so high that you will automatically repel all the people that do not reflect that vibe, that do not match your energy. And you know, you can have those people that will constantly tell you, oh, your standards are too high, you're like, who do you think you are? But you know what? If you truly know who you are, if you truly know what you deserve, it doesn't actually matter what anybody has to say, because you know who you are and you know what you deserve, and you're not going to settle for anything less than what it is. And yeah, people can be mad at you. People can be like, oh, who do you think you are? But in the end, you know who you are. And that is all that matters. It is always your own personal perspective that counts. So you just have to learn how to give so much importance to your own personal perspective. That doesn't mean that you have to be arrogant, that you don't need to take anybody's advices anymore, that, you know, you just shit on everybody else. No, you can be self-centered, you can be selfish, but also you can be very giving. Because the thing with self-love is that the more love you pour into yourself and the more you start to love yourself and approve of yourself and validate yourself, the more you can also show that love to everybody else, because you will exactly know who you are and what you want. So once you meet the right people, it will be actually easy for you to share that love back and to give a lot. So sometimes it's okay to be selfish for a little while, because then you will learn how to be also selfless again. I don't get people who are constantly saying the world does not revolve around you. Like, it's my life. Who else should the world revolve around? They might think you're self-centered, but why would you be them-centered in your own life? Why would I be you-centered in my own life? You have to learn how to develop your own opinion and give yourself the approval, because self-acceptance and self-love is the highest frequency. Like, learn to give yourself everything. Why would you wait for other people to give you what you need? You can already give it yourself. And you know what? You will develop such better standards and boundaries if you learn to validate yourself, if you give yourself already everything. You will not just accept bare minimum and low effort from people, because you're already treating yourself that good and you have so much respect for yourself and so much self-esteem that you will automatically repel people that don't want to do that for you, that just want to waste your time, that are not going to respect you. You will repel those people. So if you want to learn to get everything in life and finally get treated as the queen that you are, if you want to have people respect you, you have to start with yourself. You have to respect yourself first. So the first thing that you have to ask yourself is, why do you even look for outside validation so much? Like, why do you give it so much meaning what other people think of you? Because you're giving so much energy away, because you're constantly just thinking about everybody else and what they will think, how they will maybe approve of your opinion or your, you know, your entire being. And that is such a waste of time, because in the end, like, you're putting so much energy, you know, away from you, and you seem to be desperate. You will give off a lot of desperate energy. And when it comes to manifestation and getting the things that you want, you will not get anywhere by being desperate and by constantly seeking something. Because when it comes to manifestation, you will not get what you want, you will get what you reflect. And if you are seeking, you will attract more seeking. The situation will stay exactly the same, exactly how it is. You keep on seeking and seeking, and you shall not find, because you keep seeking. You get that seeking energy back. And you don't want that. You don't want to be that desperate. You don't want to give so much power away to other people. And, you know, don't let other people define your worth, because you should know what you are worth. You should define your own self-worth. And based on that, you will then attract your matching counterparts. You will then attract the people that will reflect that same worthiness back, that will that will treat you how you believe that you deserve to be treated. There was a time in my life where I had very low self-worth and I was constantly seeking approval from everybody else, okay? I was like asking everybody for their opinions, and I don't even know why, because in the end, sometimes I didn't even like their opinion. I was like, well, I would rather do what I would do, but like, now I ask them, so I kind of like have to stick to it. And like, how stupid, because if you already know what you truly want, then why would you need to ask somebody else? Why would you need all these advices? Because in the end, it's their personal perspective. They are not walking in your shoes, so they don't actually know what it feels like to be in your position. So even if they would give you advice, in the end, you still have to make your own decision, So as I said, there was a time in my life where I was very needy for other people's validation and opinion. And like even on my Instagram, I would constantly just post to get likes from people, constantly just, put out content that I hope that I will get approval from everybody else. And that people would tell me, oh my gosh, you're stunning. Oh my gosh, you're this, you're that, blah, blah. And then I got to a point where I worked so much on myself. And I think the final step for me, or like the moment where it clicked, was for me last year when I started with EFT tapping about worthiness, when I started with a lot of self-worth practices. And it was literally just, within a few months that I just stopped caring. I stopped caring what everybody thinks of me. When I had my first business, I was so cautious to do what people thought that I should be doing. And I was always just doing whatever they wanted. And I was just listening to all their advices all the time, but it was just not aligned with me. So you can only go for such a long time until you finally realize that this is not aligned with you, that this is not aligned to your authenticity. So the law of authenticity claims that if you are truly yourself, everything will fall into your lap and it will be easy, it will be effortless, because you can just be whoever you want to be. That is basically choosing the path of least resistance. Like you're a marionette, like other people will constantly pull you in all these different directions and you are just, like moving along with them and you're not even yourself. So there is a lot of resistance, because they are pulling you. But if you are who you want to be, and if you show up authentically as yourself, and you know who you are, you know what you're worthy, and you give yourself so much love, and you don't need it from anybody else, that's when you start calling in those blessings in your life, because you're not repelling them anymore, because you're not relying on anybody else. Like you have your energy towards yourself. Like your energy is focused on you. And I'm telling you, people feel this. I'm telling you, people feel the difference. Like whenever I focus on everybody else and I make everybody else, my point of attention, people could notice that. And every single time in my past where I started to put my energy back towards me, it's like magic. People start to come into your life and they will be like, wow, you glow differently. Like, what happened to you? You look like you did such a level up, like you elevated yourself. What did you do? And people start to come slowly back into your life. Like they try to sneak in a little bit again. Did you ever have that situation when you literally are devastated from a breakup? Like you're so sad, you're so like, you're just mentally down. And then you basically get over it and you start to feel better and you have an immense glow up, okay? You feel your best, you look your best, you're so confident. And then all of a sudden, all these people start coming back into your life. All these exes are knocking back at your door. And you're like, what's happening? I'm sure that everybody already experienced something similar to this. And I'm telling you, it is because you put the energy back towards you. Because if you are chasing people, if you are in your chasing energy because you chase validation, you chase approval, you chase just anything, you repel people. And you know what happens if you give so much meaning to other people? Like you put them on a pedestal, right? You put them on the pedestal that is unreachable and untouchable. And for what? For what reason? They're not better than you. Also, you're not better than them, but still, like, put yourself on the pedestal and like know who you are and know what you deserve. You have to work so much on your self-worth and your self-belief, giving yourself that acceptance and that approval, because then you can finally call in the things that you want, because you're so aligned with who you are as a person, and you know who you are and you know what you want. And it will be easier for you to then define the things that you actually want to call into your life and pursue the goals that you have, and, you know, go after all the achievements that you want to achieve, because you are not asking anybody else for that permission. They seem so special in your mind because all that you think about is their approval and their opinions and their advice. But in the end, actually, you made them special. Like, it is you who gives meaning towards a person's validation, approval, opinion. If you put that meaning away, you actually realize they're not even that special. It is you who made them special, because you had a vision in your mind. You maybe, you know, fall in love with their potential, and you were thinking like, wow, that's the person, like, oh my gosh, I love them so much. Or, you know, you are seeking their advice and seeking their validation, when in the end, it was always you. You thought of them that highly. You gave that energy towards them, and that energy made them shine, because people will feed off your energy. Everything is energy in the end. And also when it comes to business, like, I was coaching people, and a lot of times when they were telling me, for example, they were not making sales in their business, and they would tell me and complain like, I'm not making any sales, I'm like, with what do you actually lead? Yeah, like, I want to make sales. Okay, fine. Everyone wants to make money. It's fine. But with what do you lead? Do you just want to sell anything just to make some money out of it? People can feel that. If you're trying to chase people down, trying to convince them, you don't need to convince anybody. You don't have to convince anyone ever of your worth. You shouldn't be doing that. If they don't get your worth, if they don't understand it, if they don't see that value inside of you, it doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't lower your actual value that you have as a person. If you think that highly of yourself, you will just get up and leave. You will not argue with them. You will not try to convince them of your worth and be like, but I am so worthy. Like, I am so valuable. Like, don't you see it? Don't you see it? Like, no, this is desperate. If you're confident within yourself, you will not argue. You will just withdraw yourself. You will remove the energy that you gave away to those people, and you put it inside of yourself again. And I've seen that in my own life. Like, you know, before, when I was like, you know, maybe like 3 or 4 years younger than now, I would be so desperate for, like, to make sure that a man gets my worth and my value. And now I'm just like, if they don't get it, if they don't, you know, show me the effort that I want to see, if they don't meet my expectations, they do not meet my non-negotiables that I have clearly in my mind, that I don't even need to argue. So if I'm meeting somebody and they are not treating me the way that I want to be treated and that I actually treat myself, sometimes so you have to make sure that you treat yourself as such, because if you don't, then why would you like expect it from somebody else if you don't give yourself that? But if you treat yourself so good and somebody else doesn't match that effort, or actually does more than I already do for myself, I'm busy. I'm out. Thank you, next. I don't need you in my life. Why would I lower myself and lower my value and my standards for somebody else that clearly doesn't see it? And then I would be going there, be like, beg them and ask them, why do you not see my worth? Can you please see my worth? No, I'm not going to do that, because I know that I don't need to explain that. So when people are telling you your standards are too high, no, they're not too high. You just asking the wrong person. You know, they only tell you that your standards are too high because they cannot afford to be with you. So in order to cope with that knowing, because they always know, to cope with that, they will try to tear you down, and they will try to convince you that you are not worthy of that you are thinking too big of yourself. But you don't have to agree with them. You know, whatever they will tell you, what anybody tells you, it is you who gives that meaning to them. It is you who actually agrees and give them permission to even tell that to you. Because if I get any criticism or any critique or feedback that I don't agree with, that I don't like, sure, I can listen, I can learn, I can humble myself and, you know, take advices 100%. I'm always a student. I'm always going to be coachable, and I'm always going to be teachable. I always am willing and eager to learn more, and I'm like learning from different types of people. But also I'm so confident in what I know, what I like, and who I am, that I don't need to have that approval from anybody else. So if somebody doesn't like my videos, if somebody doesn't like what I have to say, if somebody doesn't like how I look, how I speak, how I act, if somebody else doesn't like that, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. It just means that they are not for me, that they are not the right people. So also if you're afraid to, say the wrong thing sometimes, I'm always saying you can never say the wrong thing to the right people, and you can never say the right thing to the wrong people. It just means that, with some people you will work out and with some people you don't, which is absolutely fine. You just need to keep on sticking to your own personal self and your authenticity, and not fall into the trap of lowering yourself to just please somebody. When you remove the energy that you give to people, you will realize that the only reason why they had such a big meaning in your life was because of the meaning that you gave to them. Without that meaning, without that energy, they are not even that special. They are not even that special. It is you. It is you who makes them special. It is you who gives them such a big meaning. It is you waiting for their approval. It is you waiting for the validation that you could, in the meantime, give yourself 100 times. So stop obsessing over everybody else. Start obsessing over your own life. Start to put yourself on the pedestal. Think about yourself that highly. Work on your self-worth. And it starts with like small things. Like if you go shopping and you like an outfit, like don't ask everybody for advice. Like, does this suit me? Is this nice? Who cares what they think? If you like wearing it, wear it. It is your life and your own experiences. So you need to give meaning to your own life. And by giving away meaning to somebody else, you're basically faking the meaning of your own life, because you're constantly trying to live somebody else's life, because you're constantly asking them. And you also don't need to explain yourself. One time I heard that if I'm doing a lot online, like I'm posting on my stories, I'm posting on my Instagram, and I have a certain look and certain aesthetic, and that people assume you, or some people assume me to be arrogant, or assume me to be superficial and materialistic and all of these things, right? And I was like, that's interesting, because it's always the people that are doing the least that are judging you the most. It is always like this. I already said that in one of my previous videos, that nobody else who actually does something for their lives and they're so busy, focused on themselves, they will never start looking left and right and criticizing anybody else, because they have their own life. They actually are busy. They're trying to become successful. They're building something. And it's always the people that have so much time on their hands to look left and right and start criticizing everybody, start bullying, start commenting on people's stuff, start talking to other people about you, that are the least successful. Because I don't have time to criticize anybody, because I'm really busy with myself in my own life. I'm so obsessed with my own life and building myself up and becoming my own best self, my best version, that I never start going around and judging other people for what they're doing right now, what they're not doing. And no, you don't need to explain yourself why you're doing this, why you're doing that, or you need to prove yourself and, prove your point, prove your value, prove your worth. Like, for who? You don't need to prove it to anybody, because you learn to give yourself the validation that you need in order to get further in life. So working on my worthiness has been so life-changing for me. Like, I've done so many rituals, so many activations and meditations, breath work, inner child healing, you name it. I'm doing a lot, guys. I'm really working a lot on myself, and I'm always trying to improve myself. And I'm very intuitive, so I can feel when something is off. So I don't have a problem removing myself from any situation that doesn't serve me. And I'm always thinking of if a situation, a person, anything is actually serving my highest good or not. And if it's not serving me, I don't need to wait for the approval or permission to go or to try a different route. And maybe I've just been alone for a very long time that I got used to it. So now it's actually harder for me to even move into the opposite direction. But, when you give yourself so much validation, I'm telling you, you will attract the type of people in your life that will also validate you, but in a very positive way. I feel validated a lot by my friends and my family and the people that I surround myself with. And I'm so, so grateful to have the circle that I have now. And it took me a while to get there, but it was Not until maybe like a year ago, until I actually got there. Like, I still had some people in my life that made me question my worth. And when I realized that I had people in my life that make me question my worth, I was like, why am I even with these people? Like, I don't need that in my life because I can validate myself. I don't need to have anybody else's validation, or I do not need to be surrounded by people that make me question my worth. I don't deserve this. I know I deserve better. I treat myself better. And it's not just about like men in particular when you're dating that you should know your worth, but also with friends and even in your work life, in your career, in your business. You should know to value yourself. So if you have so-called friends that make you question your worth, that you believe, I don't know, they're not truthful to you, or they're not actually supporting you, and you're still looking and like begging them for attention, begging them for validation and approval, you are clearly around the wrong people, and your environment will shape you. And if your environment is constantly fueled by that, questioning yourself and by disbelief and disapproval, why would you be in that environment? If it doesn't bring value into my own life, I'm good, because I bring already so much value into my own life, and I expect from the people that I'm surrounded by that they also bring me some sort of value. So in the end, guys, it just comes down to the inner work that you do. And if you are really working on your worthiness and desirability, that you do not look for that outside validation anymore, because you know that you get it from yourself anyways. And even if you get it for yourself anyways, you will keep on attracting the people that will give so much validation to you, and that will make you even more like just energetic, and you will feel so happy, and you know exactly that this is exactly what you deserve, because life will start to actually match your energy. Like, your reality match what you believe you're worth. And for me personally, it didn't happen until like last year, where I really made a very, very big shift, where I started to really treat myself as how I want to be treated by others. And when I started treating myself that way, and when I, developed my boundaries and really were stable with them and really strict on them, and I also just gave myself everything that I wanted from others, then other people eventually started to reflect that back towards me, whether that's friendships, in my career, or, dating life. It just always starts with you, So if you're looking for outside validation, you will never find it. Actually, you will always end up being unfulfilled, because you keep looking and looking and seeking, and you will never find it. Because even if they give you a little bit of validation, the next time you will start to become addicted to it, and you will keep on looking for that validation from others, and you will always depend on others, and you will give your energy away. You will have no power over your own personal life. So if you want to regain that power, if you want to reclaim your energy, you just have to commit to do the inner work and really just work on your desirability and your worthiness and how you're speaking of yourself. When you finally start validating yourself, there will be so many people that will be so confused. It's very funny. No longer allow people to disrespect you. They will actually think it's so disrespectful of you. They will think that if you stop seeking their approval and their validation, that there's something wrong with you. They will be very confused by your confidence. And yeah, that might mean that you have to lose a few people along the way. But I'm telling you, it will be the right people that you're losing, and you will be making room for other people to come into your life. But if you constantly are holding on to the people and to the situations that you're in because you don't want to lose anything in your life, no wonder why you're not able to manifest and attract the things that you truly deserve and that you truly actually want. Because you're so busy on holding on to these people, you have literally no room. So to all the people that make you question your worth, tell them goodbye. Cut them off. No revenge. Because your entire glow up will be enough to make them suffocate. So guys, this was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section, or any topic suggestions, put them also down below. If you're looking for a platform that builds you from within and transforms you from the inside out, you want to learn how to work on your self-concept, your worthiness, your belief system, and everything that you need. Literally reprogram your entire subconscious mind, and make sure to get access to the Inner Bloom platform. Right now there's a special promo, so make sure to check it out in the description box. And also, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any other videos. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.